a documentary film that follows the struggle and survival of homeless residents and volunteers who are trying to help. Here today is the director of Living in Tents, Paul Crane. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks so much.
And we always love having filmmakers in studio to talk about just their work, their creative process, and how they came to put a documentary together, and especially for this one. So maybe sort of set the stage for us. I mean, you covered this topic, this footage for several years, but how did you even have the idea to do this?
Yeah. I'm from St. Louis originally. I was living in New York, moved back 2010-ish, and shortly after moving back, I was kind of lost for a little bit and didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do stuff in documentaries, and was taking pictures around St. Louis just randomly and ran into the tents down by the river. And I didn't know anything about homelessness growing up. I'd never really done much volunteer work, so this was all new to me. And the first person I met was Wolf, who's one of my characters in the movie. He introduced me to a bunch of others, and I just volunteered for a couple weeks and eventually asked if I could video, and it just it was this organic, I look back at it now and it was just right place, right time, and it was really cool.
And we're going to take a look at the trailer, and it's incredibly compelling. But so people know, you lived in this tent city on and off for how long? Yeah,
so I set up a tent for like 2 or 3 months and would stay there for a few nights, go home for a night or two, go back for a few nights or something. So I never intended to try to be homeless, but I did the most that I could to immerse myself in that world. Because when I first started the project, I would try to do a few hours a day, and I would keep missing stuff. And so I quickly realized I needed to kind of make that my full-time thing for a while. Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at the trailer. Here it is.
Inside, you don't have to survive. Out here, you have to survive. Your animal side, your primal instinct. Your primal instincts pick up when you're out here. You get inside, all you want to do is sit down and sew some curtains or bake a cake, It really goes down.
Yeah.
Some of you read about Hoovervilles when you were in grade school and you thought, oh, wow, how could we possibly have had those? Well, we've got one in downtown St. Louis.
We don't want anybody to have to be on the street or to live in an encampment that, they choose to live that way.
I'm here because I choose to be here and not in the shelter. But now, don't get it wrong, if I had a place to be, I would be there.
I just need to have a place like a log cabin and just get away from the world, because I like the world, but I'm not one for the world.
Let me out. Come on out, brother.
You can't be homeless all your life. I'm sorry. Some people say you can, but you can't. I wouldn't want to be homeless all my life.
We are working with and helping people who are the most vulnerable in our society.
That's the problem, is the homeless people aren't anyone's problem per se.
You wake up every morning looking at yourself and the situation that you're in. How do you change your life? Unless people come in and you can make it. We're here to help you. Here's our hand.
This is one of the biggest things I've ever been called to do in my life.
You get to know people and cry with them.
Yeah, kind of like a mom and a dad, and that kind of sounds stupid for a 48-year-old, but it's like a mom and dad, man. Something I haven't had in years, bro.
Are we enabling them, or are we, helping them? I'm sure we've done plenty of enabling, but we mean well.
Well, there was a homicide earlier this week in St. Louis's Hooverville. What can we do? He's going to shut it down.
We think that we can help individuals move from this particular location into a better place, to have your own place.
It's a short-term solution like everything else in this city.
That, to me, was just an incredibly bad thing that just happened.
All right. Well, really, like I said, really compelling, really takes you there. And I thought one of the clips that you used it's such a telling line, like, are we enabling or are we helping solve a problem? Do you feel like that question kind of kept surfacing while you're making this film?
Completely, yeah. And when you see the movie, you'll see kind of how some people struggle with that. But I struggle with that too. I would get involved with some of these people's lives, and which you'll see in the movie how I get kind of involved with them. It is that kind of thin line of helping, and then when are you really part of maybe I don't know, problem of what keeps things the same.
We've got, we've got another segment to talk about the film, but I do want to make it clear in this segment while we've watched the trailer that you weren't just sort of like embedded living here. This really follows 5 people who are homeless and then 4 volunteers, correct? And it goes through a process where their tent city is taken away, and then what happens?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not just kind of a day in the life of, there's 5 main homeless people and 4 main homeless characters that are focused on, and it follows pretty much from the, camp started around 2011 or 10, and I really filmed from 2011 to 2013, but the film really wraps in 2017, so it covers about 6-7 years of these homeless characters and volunteers and kind of what happened through them over that time.
Okay, all right. Well, we've got the information there for you on the screen. This is a special benefit preview that is coming up on February 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Tivoli. Again, the documentary is called Living in Tents, and again, the benefit preview is February 22nd at 7 p.m. And for more information about the documentary, you can go to tentcitydoc.com. Let me get my words right today. But stay with us at STL Live. We're going to have more with Paul Crane right after this. Thank you.